GMGM member family, Benny in the house today with member dynasty. All birds love Benny so much for those not in member Discord. Benny is one of the mod for Proof Collective. He's always keen to share his love for member and help with miscellaneous questions. It's 12 a.m. here, but I'm so excited for today's interview. I'm Jojo and I'm co-hosting with John for today's member dynasty interview. Hi Benny, wanna say hi to our lovely family, especially the Mandarin community members?
Hi, 你好，大家好. Thank you so much for having me here today.
All right, John, before we throw a million questions to Benny, I think we better explain what's member dynasty and what's our core vision to him so he can further understand us.
Yeah, so I'll start off by introducing Moonbird's Dynasty. Thank you. Honestly, it's a great honor to have you on the show today, Benny. And also, thanks a lot for Jojo hosting the podcast tonight. So Moonbird's Dynasty, we started out as a group of Chinese-speaking Moonbirds holders, and our vision is to build a community brand to extend the reach of Moonbirds and Proof, while at the same time advocating for Asian culture in the Web3 space. So the three founders right now are me, John, Jocelyn, and Angus, who are both from Taiwan. Yeah, so I'm John. I'm from Hong Kong. I was very lucky to hit the Moonbirds pre-mint raffle. So I was very fortunate to be able to mint the bird at like 2.5 ETH. That's how I got into Moonbirds, and I just held ever since because I was very bullish on Kevin and his team, because I've actually looked at some of his pitches that he posted on YouTube when he was managing the Proof Collective Pass before the launch of Moonbirds. So how I got into NFTs? Well, I guess I'll start by cryptos. I've been in cryptocurrencies for around 2 years. I was very lucky because I just got onto just before the pump of Bitcoin when it was 14,000. I believe this was the end of 2020. And then, however, I didn't touch NFTs until much later, until like March of this year. I guess one of the biggest reasons why is because it's hard to get over that psychological obstacle of having to justify spending so much money to buy like a JPEG. But yeah, so that is like a brief intro about me so far. I'll pass it to Jocelyn before I ramble too much.
I'm also very lucky to win a raffle in April, and also very grateful John invited us to build member dynasty.
So Jocelyn, how about you introduce yourself for our audience today?
Yeah, of course. I joined NFT spaces since November last year, and I didn't even know what's NFT and the whole blockchain stuff actually. It's a bit a shame because of my background. Before full-time crypto, I was in IT and cloud services business for years. But to be more specific, it's online gaming business. So in our industry, people are polarized when it comes to blockchain and crypto. Actually, it's my hobby introduced me into crypto and NFT. So, Benny, we see your Twitter account was set up on April 2022. Can you please introduce yourself a bit, and also how long have you been in NFT spaces?
Yeah, thank you, and it was, thank you for introducing both of yourselves. I felt a lot of similarities with how you guys got into NFTs. The account, the Twitter account that I started in April was right after I won the pre-mint raffle, just like you both did for a Moonbird. I had another NFT account before that, but I wanted to start fresh and focus mainly on Moonbird. So that's why I started this account. But actually, I bought my first NFT last year in August of 2021. I've known about NFTs before that, and I was going to buy a VFriends earlier in the year, but I didn't quite fully understand the value and the benefits of owning an NFT at the time. And of course, I regret not buying a VFriends at the time.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. What's your first NFT?
One of my first NFTs was it was an NFT called Killers. It was, I think it's like KILLAZ, and I can't
Oh,
remember. I think I probably saw someone mentioning it in a Discord, but it just came out. I missed the mint. I bought it on secondary. It was quite popular at the time, so I bought a couple. But after a while, I just didn't really vibe with the community. I wasn't really into the project. And since then, I think I've sold the ones I've had just because I just wasn't really invested in the project. But yeah, that was my first NFT that I bought.
okay, cool. Actually, my first NFT is a fake BAYC.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I never had a chance to sell it actually.
Oh no.
Okay, so I see the post you put on Twitter, which means I assume you understand members project before minting, right?
Yeah, like I said, I did win the raffle, like the both of you, and it was one of the best feelings I've experienced recently from seeing that I was picked. But even if I didn't win the raffle, I was prepared to do anything that I could to buy one on the secondary market. So I prepared a lot of ETH to hopefully get at least one, and because that's how badly I wanted to get a Moonbird.
Mhm.
Um, but I was like many other people who were so excited about Moonbirds when Kevin first mentioned it on Twitter. That's when I first learned about it, and it was a kind of a interesting feeling because like right when he mentioned it, I remember feeling so excited about it and knew like right away like I got to get a Moonbird. This sounds so cool. And then I started to follow everything that the team was saying about Moonbirds on Twitter, and I was listening to all the interviews they were doing. And so like what I knew about the project came from what they were sharing. And every time they started talking about it and what they were hoping to build for the future, it just got me really excited about the project.
How many is you prepared to buy from a secondary market?
It's a very good question. I was talking to other people in other discords. Like we're just trying to figure out like what the secondary market would be like right after, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I prepared 10 ETH for the at the time. You know, j-
Oh, okay.
just
That's enough
yeah, just
actually.
enough. It was enough. But I wasn't sure. I thought I was hoping that was enough, but would it not be enough because of how many people wanted to get a Moonbird? So, but thankfully, I won the pre-mint raffle, and I was able to get at least one.
Yeah. Did you buy more?
I wanted to because I had 10 ETH for saved, and so I won the raffle, so that was about 2.5. So I had
Yeah.
about 7.5 left, a bit little less than that, and I was trying to
Oh,
get one after the mint, but the floor price was like up and down, and I kept seeing it go down, 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 and I
okay.
was hoping like it would come down low enough for me to get one, but it was
And then all of a sudden, right?
yeah, and people were just buying so quickly off the floor, and so it was really hard to get one for that cheap. So I missed out on getting a second one that day, and after that the price just kept going up and up, and I was priced out unfortunately of getting a second one. But I'm still very happy to at least have gotten one because a lot of people they weren't lucky like we were, and they
Yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
win
yeah.
the raffle. So I'm very thankful to have at least one Moonbird.
Yes, yes.
What?
Sounds like you are quite understand about member projects before minting. So, I think there are a few blue chip communities in the spaces for making TLDR of weekly town hall newsletters and now modding in the community. What makes you to engage yourself so deeply in members?
I think because Moonbirds was like the most excited I had ever been about any NFT project. And I think it was because of Kevin and his background. I've been following Kevin for many years, like a lot of people on social media and listening to him, on the Tim Ferriss podcast. Um,
Mhm.
so when he talked about this project, I got really excited about it. And also, I knew about the Proof Pass before that, but like V Friends, I didn't quite understand the value of the Proof Pass and what it would bring. So I missed out. I passed on the Proof Pass, and of course, I regret it. So when Moonbirds was announced, I knew I wanted to join. And when he was talking about the idea of nesting and rewarding
Mm.
longtime holders, that
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
that got me really excited because I'm the type of person that is more of a buy and hold
Mm.
investor instead of a buy and look for a quick flip. So just every time they were talking about Moonbirds and the project and what they had hoped to build, I got just more and more excited. And so after that weekend of the mint, I was thinking about like what can I do for the community? How can I be
Mm.
like a small part of this community? And I
Mm.
had been doing a daily newsletter for fun for just about a year at that time, and but I only had like 100 subscribers, so it wasn't very big. So I had
Mm.
experience with a newsletter, so I thought maybe why not do a weekly newsletter that would be great for people who don't have time to keep up with all the updates on Moonbirds or who don't have time, spending time in the Discord every day and just sharing, what the team is talking about, any updates, any news, and just deliver that in a weekly newsletter. So I started that. And then when they started to do the weekly town halls, my thinking was, what's something else I could do that would be valuable for other people in the community? And my
Mm.
thinking was that, not everyone can listen live to the town hall, like you in Taiwan and John in
Asia, Hong
yeah,
Kong.
Hong Kong. It's hard to listen live because of the time difference. So and also, not everyone will have time to listen to the whole recording. People are busy, so they don't have an hour to listen to the recording. So I thought, I've always been a fan of Twitter threads, and I thought doing a recap and just taking notes would be perfect for that. So that's why I started taking notes. And then each week, more and more people were reading it and telling me how helpful it was. And so I just continued to do it every time there was a town hall. And so now that I'm a moderator, I get to keep doing these, and I'm always so happy that people love to read them, and it's valuable, and it helps them save time too, because I do these recaps.
We kind of like sharing the same thoughts, right, John? After minting, we want to do something for members, so that's the reason why we set up this community, right, John?
Yeah, I think that is a very good point, Jocelyn. I think all of us are actually quite aligned in terms of our mindset on this because all of us, we are very obviously, okay, so on the base level, we are all very bullish on Moonbirds. So because of that, we we really value the NFT in our wallet, and then therefore we also really value the community that we're in. Therefore, as a result of that, we really want to give back and provide value to the community. So, which is why Benny, you're writing all of these TLDRs, just accounting for the time difference and maybe just for people who can't make it to the podcast, which is great of you because the town hall often happens at like 3 or 4 a.m. of our time. Although sometimes I still stay up to listen to it. Yeah, and with Moonbirds Dynasty, we're doing the same. We notice a problem because um, a lot of Chinese Moonbirds holders, they really struggle to engage in the conversation. One, because they struggle to understand English, and also there's also the layer of culture. So because of this communication gap, we saw this problem, and that's why we founded Moonbirds Dynasty to hopefully bridge the information loss, this communication barrier between the East and the West. Yeah.
Speaking of your, let's talk about your modding experience. So, how's the experience so far working with Proof Collective? How did you get recruited, and do you directly working with Cameron Rose and Justin? How do you work with the team in a daily basis?
So far, working with the team has been amazing. It's been almost like a dream to be able to come into a company like this and just not and everyone is not only extremely talented, but they're just like really great people as well. So it makes for a really great working environment. Though we do all like communicate with each other, and Kevin and Justin are always available to answer questions. The ones I work directly with are the other community managers, aka Stevie, Soda Pop, and Girls Just Want to Have Funs. And although I'm the new guy, they've welcomed me like family and have been so helpful, answering all the questions I have about, how do I do this? What should I do here? And things like that. So it was really great that I got to meet not only them, but everyone, from the company at New York City. Because the first night, the Moonbird party was Tuesday night, but on Monday night we had a company dinner. So it was like the first time many of us have met in person for the very first time. It's all been online since then, and so yeah, it was great to just be able to say hi and just meet everybody in person. So it was great. um so yeah, as for communication, we all are pretty much remote, so we all use Zoom for weekly team meetings, and then we use Slack for daily communication. As for the mod position, I was approached by AKA Stevie about it. They were looking for another moderator, but they hadn't said that publicly. But because I guess I was so active and helpful in the community, she thought of me. She thought maybe Benny would be, interested in this, and so let me ask him. And so she sent me a DM to ask me some just general questions. She wasn't offering the position, even though I did ask about it. I said, "Hey, if you're looking for a mod, by the way, I'm really interested." But she said, "Hey, I can't promise anything. We're just want to just ask some questions." So I said, "Okay, that's no problem." But then not long after that, I got a DM on Twitter from Kevin, and then we talked a couple.
Oh,
Yeah, I
really?
got a DM from Kevin. It was
Oh,
very, it
wow.
was a very simple "Hi Benny," and I was like, my heart sort of started beating real fast. Um, of course, at first I thought, is this the real Kevin or is it a fake Kevin? But I checked, and
Yeah.
it was from his real account. And then, AKA Stevie messaged me as well on Twitter and said, "Hey, you might have noticed a DM from Kevin," and I was like, "Yeah, I did." So we talked a couple of times, and he was just talking about the opportunity, and and I was just so thrilled for the chance and the opportunity to join, Proof, and help really strengthen and build this community for the future. But yeah, so like for the last like 2 or 3 months of this year, I've been sort of been looking for a way to get involved in Web3, and get a
Mm,
full-time job in Web3. And so this opportunity came at the most perfect time, and really in the most surprising way. So I'm very thankful for AKA Stevie, like thinking about me, and I appreciate Kevin for giving me the opportunity, and just thank you to the whole team for just welcoming me like family.
So we love all the pictures you share about NFT NYC, and it's a shame we didn't make it because the COVID in Taiwan is getting more and more severe recently. Can you please share your journey with us? There are so many events. Did you join all of them?
I'm glad that you enjoyed the pictures. I was just trying to share as many pictures as I could, during that week for, I know a lot of people who couldn't attend. So I'm glad that I was able to share pictures and have everyone, sort of see them. So yeah, New York City was a great time. I'm so happy to hear that, so many people who went to our events had a great time. They said they really enjoyed just meeting other people in person. They enjoyed the conversations, and they made a lot of great memories from attending. For me, it was my first ever sort of NFT event. So I didn't really go to that many events that week, but the ones that I went to, I really enjoyed. I went to the Moonbirds party, and I went to the Magical Moonbirds event.
Oh, envy.
Yeah, so for people that don't know, that was an event for only owners of the Wizard and Witch Hat, and that David Blaine, the magician, was there
Yeah.
walking around just doing close up magic with people for people,
Yeah.
and there was food there was drinks, and it was held in a 5-story town home in New York City, and it was just this beautiful space, and the events team that we had did a great job of planning that event and also all the other events, including Moonbird's party, the Ladybirds brunch. So it was a really great time, and I'm glad a lot of people enjoyed it, and hopefully you and John and other community members from Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Asia will be able to travel next year because we're having the Proof of Conference event next year. Date, the date hasn't been set yet. They're working on finding a location, finding a venue. But it'll be a huge event. This is something that is going to be exciting, and the team is so excited to have this event for everyone to come to. So hopefully you guys can come, and hopefully Moonbird's Dynasty can have a smaller event at that conference next year. I think that would be really cool to have a smaller event for the Chinese speaking community at the Proof of Conference event.
Cool. I was told the food and the drinks are very good in those events.
They were very good. And I was, personally, I was very surprised by how much food was at the Moonbird's party because a lot of people were asking me in the Discord, hey, will there be food at the party? And I saw, on the website, it said, yes, there will be food, but I just thought maybe it would be like just a little bit of food. But I mean, there was food that was being given while people were waiting in line outside. And then there was food inside the event where there was servers walking around with trays of food, and it wasn't only at the beginning of the night, it was all night long. Even like at the end of the night when I left, there was still food being served. So I mean, it was amazing, and the food was really good. There was an open bar at all the events for Moonbird, so great drinks. And yeah, it was really a great time for everyone. And the events team, again, I think did a great job. And I think next year, the Proof of Conference event will be even better. So, if you're listening, please try and come next year.
Yeah, of course, John. We probably have to save money for now.
Yeah,
for
I'm
our
gonna start
flight
saving
tickets.
now.
Yeah, like you said, you guys need to come, and it'd be so cool to have like a smaller meetup for, just the Chinese speaking community or anyone who wants to attend a smaller event. I think that'd be really, really cool.
Let's talk about your expectations for this project. So recently, Moonbird Flora is pumping again, right? It's a holder and also a mod at the same time. Can you please share your expectation in the near future? Where will Kevin Rose and Justin bring us to? And what's your insight about Highrise especially?
Good question. My expectation for the future is to just enjoy the journey, enjoy, the community and getting to know people like you and John and others, because we all hold a Moonbird. I think that's, one of the things I look forward to the most. The floor price did pump this week, but also like if you remember, like 2 weeks ago, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, the floor was really low. Right, and
sorry, I didn't buy the dip.
Yeah, I know. I didn't have enough money to buy the dip either. I wish if it kept going lower, I would have a chance. But my feeling and excitement for the project remained the same. During the dip and even during the pump because I'm in this project for the long term. So just like I said, the team doesn't really focus on the floor. We try not to encourage. We don't. Well, people will talk about the floor inside the Discord, but that's not something we want people to talk about all the time. So because the team is here to build for not just this year, but for many years to come. And Kevin and Justin have said that they will share more about the future of Proof and Moonbirds in late August at an event called Future Proof. This is going to be a large online event, so don't worry, wherever you are in the world, you'll be able to attend, and it's going to just outline what the team can discuss about the future, and talk about where they're currently are right now, and then what's the next step for the next 3 to 6 months. And this event will be a great time to show hopefully some product demo and show cool stuff that the team has been building. And as for Highrise, that's a great question. But for now, there will just be more info on it coming out in the future. Hopefully, they hope to be able to show and talk more about it at the Future Proof event in late August. But what they have shared about Highrise is that they want to release early and often. They want to release it and have everybody use it and test it out and give feedback so they can continue to improve on it. So yeah, that's what to expect with that in the near future.
Apart from Moonbirds, is there any other NFT now you're still holding in the bear market, and why?
Well, actually, there are a lot of NFTs that I'm still holding, but it's because they're not worth anything in this market, and I can't sell them. So that's why my wallet is full of just projects.
I know JPTs.
Yeah, I think a lot of us can relate to that, and a lot of us have these NFTs that are just collecting digital dust in our wallet. So, but like in this market, I really just focus on strong teams and strong communities. I'm spending more times in communities during this market rather than trying to find the next degen mint or quick flip. So besides the Moonbirds community, I also enjoy Zen Academy, run by
Oh,
Zeneca. Yeah, it's a great community, and I've been in there actually since I started with NFTs last August, and it was a sort of a safe community for people to be in, and that's was the vision for Zeneca when he started it. So I enjoy Zen Academy and what he's doing there, and it's funny because Zen Academy is a place where AKA Stevie was an original member. She told me, I just found this out like last week, that she was in the community when she first started with NFTs last year. And then Girls Just Want to Have Funds is a moderator over there as well. So
oh,
yeah,
really?
so I was an OG member of Zen Academy. So there's three of us that are all from Zen Academy that are now working full time for Proof. So I thought that was pretty funny, but also it just shows the type of community that he has there, and the type. I find the similarities between the Moonbirds community, almost the same as the Zen Academy community over there, just because of the vision of Kevin and Justin, and also Zeneca over at Zen Academy.
Anything else you would like to add our shout out to our Asian communities, or even better, any Alpha leagues like John always expecting?
Well,
Well,
of course, I like my job. I love my job, and I want to keep my job. So, um, I can only share what the team has said publicly, and I don't know if you saw it. I think I retweeted it, but a lot of people have. But at the Moonbirds party in New York City, Kevin and Justin spoke. Said a few words on stage, and one of the things they said was the next 60 days will be fun. And so, we have oddities revealing on July 20th, which is coming very
yeah,
soon. And
yeah,
then for people who nested on day one, we have Silver Nest, which will unlock that same week. And, we can start to claim our rewards for the Silver Nest. So that'll be exciting as well. And then, like I said, in late August, we're going to have this huge online event called Future Proof. So, really the next 60 days, the next 2 months will be very exciting and very fun. And, I hope everyone's ready for this journey. And, for the Asian community, I just want to say that Kevin and Justin and the team really love how much you guys love Moonbirds, and just want to say 谢谢. They want to say thank you for that. Um, and I know they've talked about on the Twitter Spaces that they want to do international events in the future, and they want to travel. They're so ready to travel, and so hopefully in the future there can be some sort of official meetup somewhere in Asia. They'll have to find like a good place for that, and hopefully a lot of you can attend. But until then, just keep having those local meetups. Have those meetups in Taiwan or in Hong Kong or in Japan, or in, I think there's one in Seoul, South Korea. I think this month I saw.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's a great way to meet other people who share a love of Moonbirds, NFTs, and Web3 in general. And Kevin, to Kevin and Justin and everyone else, community is so important for this project. That's why there's nesting, because they can make a lot of money from people buying and selling, right? But they don't want that. They want people to hold for the long term, and that's why nesting is so important. It's a really an important part of the community. And Kevin has talked about building an app in the future, and he has said that in the future, when a group of moonbirds get together, then magical things will happen. So we don't know what those magical things are, but we do know that he really loves people meeting in real life. He loves people getting together. He loves meetups. He loves these connections that people are making. So it's going to be a very important part of this project in the future.
We are so honored to have Benny with us today and sharing your insights as a holder and also a moderator at the same time. Especially after understanding the vibes among the team, the hard work behind the scene, I think I won't be able to sleep well tonight. Every single day I regret I didn't buy the dip. I guess, John, you have the same feelings, right?
Yeah, like even for the most recent dip as well.
Thanks for your sharing today, Benny, and hope it won't be a one-time interview only. Maybe we should do this again after Auditis review or any other big events coming in the end of August.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I would love to come back on. Maybe after future proof event, I can come back on and we can talk about what they talked about during that event. And I just want to say谢谢for like what you guys are doing for the Chinese speaking community and building this community for everyone. I think it's amazing, and I'm excited to see what you guys will continue to do in the future.
Please make sure you let me know when you visit Taiwan. I will be your host, and I'll take you over around to visit my home country.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again. We appreciate your time and have a nice day.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.